Welcome everyone. In this video I'm going to continue the work with my DRO converter, kind of converter. So in the previous video you could see that I made a circuit board, which was actually this tiny circuit board here. And this was able to connect to a DRO, and by using an ATTiny85 I was able to capture the output signal of it and convert it into millimeters and show it on this display. So then I was thinking that I could make another PCB for this, and that would look a bit more, I don't know, professional. So what I will do in this project is that I will use these PCBs that you can see, and I will use some other parts as well, and with those other parts I will create this nice little circuit, as you can see. And I will use exactly the same parts as I was using here, plus a few other parts, because I want to be able to run this either from USB or from a 5-volt power supply. Therefore, on this left side of the PCB, we have a 3.3 volt voltage regulator, and that will provide a 3.3 volt for the ATTiny plus the DRO circuit. And with that, I will be able to put it on an I2C compatible display. Of course, I will use this OLED display, but you can use another library and another OLED display or other I2C display. So that will be the plan. And as you can see, now I have some nice red colored PCBs, and it's a simple two-sided or two-layer PCB. It is provided by the sponsor of this video, PCB. PCB is a service provider specialized on PCB manufacturing and PCB assembly, but they have other services as well, such as CNC machining, 3D printing services, both metal and plastic, and sheet metal forming. And if you want to order PCB from them, that's a very simple process. You just go to PCB Instant Quote, and after uploading your Gerber file, which is shown here how to do it, you can customize your board. For example, you can choose the material for your board, you can choose the thickness of the traces, and you can change the color of your PCB. And for example, in my video, I chose the color to be red. So if you want to have the similar vibrant red color, you just have to pick the red for your own PCB, and then you can customize all the other thing. And for example, if you have SMD parts, then it's a very good idea to order an SMD stencil, because that will make your life much more easier. If you want to apply the solder paste, you don't have to go from pin to pin, but you can just use their stencil and apply the solder paste at one go, and that's very easy. And if you don't want to struggle with the assembly, they also have assembly services. Not only that they can assemble the board for you, but they can also source the parts for you, so that's very good, because they save a lot of headache for you. So I hope you like PCB services, and you will use their services for ordering a PCB, for example this exact PCB or some other services that they can provide. So we have the PCB here, and then we have the other parts, as you can see here. So we will use a LD33V voltage regulator, 3.3 volt voltage regulator, and it will need two capacitors. It will be a 10 microfarad electrolytic capacitor and 100 nanofarad ceramic or tantalum capacitor. And then for the DRO, since it has a USB connector, I will use this USB connection. And then we have a resistor and a switch for tearing the reading. And of course we have to have an LED. Since the board is red, I picked a blue LED, and then we have the corresponding resistor for it, and some sockets, one for the display and then another for the IC, the ATTiny IC, and basically that's all. I might need a few jumper pins, because on this board what I did is that I added two jumper pin connections here. If you don't want to use the USB for providing the 5-volt power, then you can use the jumper pins. And I did the same with the DRO pins. So if your DRO doesn't have this specific USB connection that my DRO has, I just have the 4 pins here having the same purpose. As you can see, data, clock, ground, VCC from left to right, and then you can just do the same. And once again, I think that this is a very nice PCB. So far I was very satisfied with the white one, but I think the red can compete with its beauty, let's say, because what I really like about this is that the high contrast between the red PCB and the white silk screen, so it makes everything very readable. I have relatively good eyes, I would say, but this is just so pleasing for the eyes. So it's really nice to read the text on the red background with the white letters. But this is just another comment about this PCB. So now there's just one thing to do. I have to, of course, assemble this circuit. So I will do some assembly. I will probably make a time lapse of it, and then we will see if the final circuit works or not. So let's assemble everything, and then I will talk again when I have the final results. So the board is done, and now I'm showing it to you upside down, but you can see the things. So let's flip it. So the left hand side between my 2 fingers is the power part, and this is basically the processing part or DRO part. So this is the tare button here. This is the corresponding pull-up resistor for it. And then the ATTiny will come to this part here. And then the display comes in this socket here. These 4 pins are replaceable with the USB connection, so they do the same. And then here we have the voltage regulator. Then I use 2 electrolytic capacitors. So in the beginning I showed you a ceramic capacitor somewhere here, this guy here. But then I thought, yeah, I have the same value in electrolytic, why not use that? And then these are the 2 pins that you can see for the plus 5 watt. So now I'm not using the USB for providing the 5 watt, but I put there optionally. And then of course an LED and its current limiting resistor. So what I have to do, I just have to put this together, and I also have to put this leg back to the socket. Because somehow that fell out, I don't know how. That belongs here. You can see a missing tooth there. And if I fix that, then we can test the circuit. So I will just transplant the display and the already programmed ATTiny, that chip there, and we will see if it works or not. But first let me fix this pin leg here. So we are done with the panel, and after some trouble and then troubleshooting, I made everything work. I discovered one mistake in the panel design, which I will discuss in a moment, and I did one, let's call it mistake, during the soldering. So I decided to use a low melting point SMD solder paste for fixing these pads for the USB in of the DRO, and for some reason that crept inside the USB port which I used, so this metallic guy there, and it caused a short circuit. So I could not get the proper values out because the data was shorted out, and there was no data showing up in the, let's say, this USB port. So that was one of my trouble, let's say. Otherwise the circuit was working. And one mistake which I did was actually with the connection of the display. But that is only a problem if you want to directly plug in this specific SSD1306 type of OLED display, because the OLED display has a pin layout as ground, VDD, SCK, so clock, and SDA, so data of the I2C connections. But here I start with VCC and then GND and then clock and data, but that's not correct in a sense that it's not aligned with this display. And my original intention was to align it, because in this tiny panel I had it aligned. So from left to right I had ground, VCC, clock, data. But on this panel, or here on this red guy, I have VCC, ground, clock, data. But I just used a cable and then I just flipped a VCC and ground. So it's not a problem if you bring out these things, these wires, and you have the opportunity to flip it. But if you want to use a socket, let's say like a 4-pin socket, and plug it in this, solder it in the board, and then plug the display directly in, that might be a problem, or not might be, it is a problem, because the ground and VCC are flipped. But it's not a big design issue, so it will not render the circuit unusable. So then let's power this thing so I can show you that it works and prove it. So now I have it lined up, and I don't know if it's visible, but with my eyes it's very visible with the red background that we have the LED on. Maybe if I turn off the lights, then you will see something there. So the LED is on, and then the display is also on, and hopefully it's visible. So now it's showing a little bit discrepancy from 0, but now I just press the button and we reset it to 0, and then I move it, and I moved in the negative direction. That is also indicated here and here when I purchased this thing and assembled it with the original thing, this guy here. Then I marked the negative side and the positive side, and you can see that it moves. And yeah, I can say that it does the same as it does with this original thing. So yeah, it works. And yeah, I can tear it anywhere. It goes to 0, and then I can move it. And if I move in between the two sides, from side to side, then it gives us back the 30 centimeter range, so we can cover it. So this was 30430. 30430, repeatable. So it works. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So it works very nicely. And then, as you can see, the chip, the ATTiny85, is programmed in a way that the display is only updated whenever we move this thing. So there is no flickering, except when we move this carriage or measurement thingy, because then of course the values are updated. But otherwise, yeah, it works. And also I can see it on my power supply, that guy in the corner, that now at 5 volts we have 0.017 amps or 17 milliamps power consumption, but that's pretty low, I guess. So it works as it intended. So once again, I did not add the USB here because now I'm just powering by these jumper pins here, but if you want, you can add the solderable USB here, micro USB. And then we have the 3.3 volt LDO, low dropout regulator, an LED just to see that the thing works. And then on the revealed side, which is not covered by my thumb, we have the microprocessor part, a tare button here, and then we have the ATTiny and then the connector for this specific DRO. And that's all. And I'm not going to guide you through the software because I showed it in my previous video. So go to the corner of this video, there's the link, or check the description. And most importantly, check my website because I published 2 different codes. One is for the ATTiny85, but then I generalized the same code and made it possible to just upload it for an Arduino Nano or Arduino Uno. So you can just straight away use it without the need of modifying this ATTiny code, because for some people maybe that would be too much work or too much of a challenge. So I just made it available in both versions. So I will put all the relevant links and information and everything in the description of the video, as well as the link for this specific PCB. So you will be able to go to PCBWay's website and directly order this PCB. So if you want to have this same circuit and replicate it, then you can do it by using PCBWay's services. And as you can see, yeah, these are quite nice PCBs, and I will put up some more pictures on my website so you will be able to enjoy it from a closer view. So these are very nice, and you can have the same nice PCBs as well. So this is what I wanted to show you. I just wanted to design my own, not so tiny, but relatively tiny microcontroller driven DRO panel. So this is what we have here. And I wanted to show it to you. So now we have this thing, and it's compatible with most of these 24-bit or 21-bit DROs. So actually, if you use these 4 pins, you can use it with a digital caliper as well. So instead of using the USB, of course, then you will use the other 4 pins to connect it to the digital caliper. Maybe I will show you it later, how it works. But yeah, it works. So don't forget to visit my website and check all the informations there, because everything is published there. And don't forget to visit PCBWay's website, because they have quite a lot of useful things and services for you. So I hope this video was useful to you. I hope you learned something, and see you in the next video.